Hey guys, welcome back. This is Sam with 2M's, and today we're gonna go right back to Buried and Interactive Story. As I understand it, this game auto-saves. So we should just pick up. Perfect. Alright, perfect. So, curiosity, you and 58% of players called out to Marcus when you saw him in the tunnel. That was an accident, but okay. Selflessness, you and 64% of players stepped in front of Dennis to protect him from Marcus. Okay, well that's nice. 64% of us are legit. 64% of us are good friends. Mercy, you and 65% of players were easy on Marcus after he surrendered. Yeah, but I'm starting to think that was a mistake. Starting to feel like that was a bad decision. Ooh. Matrix. Follow Marcus into what I can only describe as a control room of sorts. There are countless computer screens, some of which are obviously coming back on from having been shut off. Everything looks extremely complicated, from screens filled with code and data to what is obviously a security system. It reminds me of a miniaturized version of the operations center in just about every space travel movie I've ever seen. Marcus is running from one screen to another, apparently looking for some pertinent bit of information. "Where's the first aid kit?" I snap at him. Marcus stops in his tracks as if he has forgotten the whole reason for bringing us down here. "Oh, yeah," he says, rushing to the left side of the room. There he hunkers down by an opened panel in the wall, what I assume is the emergency vault from where he got the rifle. So we're gonna look at these monitors, or we're gonna peer into the vault. You know what, I want to know what he's up to. I don't think we could even understand what's on the screens in this room. This guy's really like a layman. So, yeah, if this looks like space travel to him, he's not gonna get it. So let's make sure that Marcus isn't getting into shit. I don't trust him. Peer over Marcus's shoulder into the vault he's opened. It's much larger than it looks from the outside. It's partially filled with file folders marked classified, a few rounds of ammo for the rifle, a peculiar plastic kit filled with syringes, and a locked black box. As Marcus digs around, one of the folders slips open. For the split second it's opened, I see a scanned document and a color photo. The photo shows a male corpse with its guts on the outside of its body, as if it had been turned inside out. There's also massive swelling on his head, almost like his skull is about to explode. Marcus slaps the folder closed, and then I turn my attention to one of the syringes. It's filled with a violet-colored fluid that, while rather pretty in color, looks deadly. Marcus finally pulls out the first aid kit and turns around. When I look back to motion Dennis over, he's paler than ever. "Come on," I tell him. But he's not moving from the place on the floor where he sits against the wall. I slide the first aid kit over to him and go scrambling to his side. Between the struggle for the rifle upstairs and arriving in this room, he's faded fast. I struggle to lift his shirt up and then over his shoulders as the dried blood holds it in place. The mere act causes him to grimace. "It might hurt a little," I tell Dennis. He only nods. He doesn't seem to care. Pull shirt off gently, rip shirt off quickly. Ooh. Man. That is kind of a tough decision. Either way, it's gonna fucking hurt for a bit. And if it were me in this position, I would rather you just leave the fucking shirt on. But, I don't really know what to do here. Let me think. I don't know if you really want to rip it off. You don't want to risk tearing the wound open more, so let's pull it off gently. That's gonna hurt, I'm sure, and it'll take longer, but it's generally, I think that would be safer. Ooh, okay. Decided to pull off Dennis's shirt gently, and that mattered. I lift the shirt off gently, and it makes a sucking sound. Ugh. There's so much blood that the moisture tries to keep the shirt pulled to him. Dennis lets out a little moan, but seems to relax, in spite of his injuries. With the shirt fully removed, the extent of his injuries becomes more clear. The wound is more visible now, although it's partially hidden by the blood that has started to clot around it. My medical knowledge is slim. Basically just a bunch of basics I learned in Boy Scouts. I look over to Marcus hopefully and ask, "You have any training?" "Zero," he says. "Sorry." It's just as well, I guess. He's far too concerned with what's happening on the monitors to be of much help anyway. I start by taking out the several rolls of gauze within the kit and wipe as much blood as I can away from the wound on its side. It's even worse than I had figured from the start. The gash is deep and dark. I'm pretty sure it's infected, too. It's gonna need stitches, that's for sure, but I have no idea how to even start that. Besides, I don't see the tools for it in the kit. When I splash rubbing alcohol over the wound, he responds with a hoarse yelp of surprise, but nothing more. His eyes are locked on me and looks appreciative, but he's also scared. Be honest, Dennis says hopefully. How bad does it look? You think I'll live? Oh man, I don't want to say you'll be fine. It's pretty obvious he's not fine. But on the other hand, I don't want to be like, yeah, you're definitely gonna die. That's not really great for morale, and if you might not pull through, sometimes just knowing is not, just knowing makes a difference because it changes how hard you try. So, God, I'm torn between not wanting to lie and not wanting to, be too... There's like no happy medium in this one. Okay, I'm gonna go with my gut. Oh, you choose to comfort Dennis. Okay, yeah, that sounds a lot better. Good to know, he says, because I sure don't feel like that. You've been through hell, I say. I think it feels worse than it actually looks. Bullshit, thanks. That's a relief. I won't lie, you're gonna have a scar, I say, trying to be funny. He chuckles a bit, but there's no humor. He rests his head against the wall and closes his eyes as I finish him up. Place one layer of gauze against the wound and bind it with medical tape. I then reinforce it with the second layer. I know it's meager, but it's all I can do. Thanks, Roger, he says, actually managing to force out a smile. Feel a lot better. I think I'll be fine. I'm not so sure about that, but I'm glad I was able to encourage him. Finally, I patch up the bruises on my head a bit, cursing myself again for not grabbing my hard hat. Okay, I get it. That was a bad decision, and I regret it. Thoroughly. Okay. I look back to Marcus, and he was looking back at us, deep in thought. My eye is starting to really swell up from where he kicked me earlier. Maybe I shouldn't have let him off so easy. Okay, right, okay. Should have been a bigger asshole, too. Keep that in mind. Are these first aid kits all you have in this facility? I ask him. If there's something better, I don't know about it, he says. I noticed then that his defensive posture is no longer there. Something is different now. Just a slight change to his demeanor. He's seen something on those monitors that has him frightened. More than he already was before. What is it? I ask. What's wrong? His eyes travel around the room and it's obvious that he's trying to decide whether or not to tell me the truth. Get up and look at the monitors. Come on, spit it out. Okay, I'm gonna ask him because even if I look at the monitors, I'm not gonna get it. Not gonna get it. It's easier just to ask. Just what in the hell is going on here? I ask, not even really sure I want to know the answer. Well, no help not knowing that. His defiant gaze tells me he's not gonna be any help, so I decide to look around for myself. Why wouldn't you say? Asshole. After a few moments, I see a few things that even I can comprehend hidden in the complex information on most of the screens. On one screen, I see what looks like a power meter that is slowly climbing upwards. A single message is flashing beneath it. It reads, unexpected power failure for an entity. Another message trickling along the bottom of a black screen says, safety locks on level 3 containment doors engaged. Override? I see still scenes on a few other screens that I assume are security cameras showing hallways and passages from elsewhere in the facility. One of them shows the first level hallway we were on just a few minutes ago. Another shows a hallway I don't recognize. The floor is covered in blood. From just off the screen, I see what I think might be a human body, but it's bent in an impossible way. It looks like the body's legs and torso have somehow been merged or melted into the floor. What's wrong with the systems, or what happened to that person? I don't think there's anything wrong with their systems. I think their systems are working just fine. I'm more interested to know what's engaged their systems. I have no idea, I didn't see it, he says. Whatever happened to that guy must have happened in the last minute or so. Not encouraging. What the hell, I ask. There's something still happening? Are we still in danger? He turns away, clearly fearing he has already said too much. And as bad as that is, there's a scene on another monitor that makes my blood go cold and my fears spike to levels somewhere near terror. The scene is very familiar. It's the logging site. Oh, you fuckers, the equipment is unmistakably mine. I can even see my truck. Something like fury starts to rise up in my guts, momentarily pushing aside the fear. For a moment I consider just tearing into him, a few punches and a shove against the wall, nothing more. I want answers and I want them now, but I'm not sure which would provide more answers, asking calmly or kicking his ass. Man, I don't know, this guy's kind of a douche, so it's hard to say whether just communicating with him is really gonna But on the other hand, unless I'm gonna kill this dude, I really don't want to give him any more reason to be acting against me. If I just beat his ass right now, I feel like that dude's... I already feel like he's gonna take his first opportunity to kill me. And to be honest, I don't really enjoy the idea of an interrogation anyway. I don't really like that idea. I'd rather question him calmly. I think I am gonna go with that. I hope I'm not being too gentle with this fucker. I can't tell if this game wants me to fucking kick Marcus's ass or if I'm just reading too much into that. Could you please explain to me why you've been spying on my crew? My anger is prodding at me and I have to hold it back again. It's near the surface, demanding a release. Well, this dude's also not he's not making the decisions here. It was part of my job, mine and a few others. Your crew's been watched ever since you set up your equipment. Why? Because you're working with heavy equipment, some of which digs into the ground less than a mile from a secret government facility. I had no idea of that, I say. How could I have known? Marcus gives me the same crooked, trembling smile that is beginning to creep me out. Because those things would draw attention to this place, he says. You have no idea how secretive this facility is. Besides, I know that the higher-ups looked into it. Your site isn't on government land. It's shy by about 300 yards. Every piece of your equipment is on private property. The timber tract you purchased from Mr. Gladstone 2 months ago. So even if we wanted to intervene and keep your crew away, we couldn't have without stirring up a fuss. The fact that someone with such a low-level clearance knows this much about my logging crew is unnerving. If you've been watching us, why didn't you recognize us when we met in the hallway, I ask. He shakes his head and exhales like it's obvious. The cameras have a bird's eye view. I can't see faces. We just track bodies and names. So where the hell is my crew? Yeah, I'm done asking calmly. Look, Marcus says, all of you were on site as usual before the incident. It had been a few hours since I had checked, though. I can tell he's starting to get rattled by this interrogation. He continues with his eyes fixed on the keyboard. They might have come near the facility or maybe not. I don't know. I'd tell you if I did, okay? I don't know if I believe that, but were they inside the facility, I shout? You have cameras everywhere, right? Look for them. Marcus puts his hands up defensively. I've been looking all over and I haven't seen your crew. But, he adds, the lower levels don't have any cameras. Classified. I'm not sure how they would have gotten there, but it's a possibility. I'm still shocked that we were being watched. Do they know everything about us? I'm telling you, Marcus said, the depth of influence in this facility goes deep. There are 36 employees down here. Outside of those employees, only 5 other people know this place exists. Huh. Well, I'm gonna ask calmly now. I had my... What do all these people do here, I ask, keeping my voice level. He doesn't even pause to consider if he should go any further. He actually laughs when he gives me the answer. I honestly don't know everything, probably very little, but what I do know is that it is more than black ops. What does that mean, I ask. There are scientists here who have been disowned by their own governments because of the nature of their work. You get it now? Ooh, yikes. I don't, not at all, but I don't want him to know about that. Damn, come on, dude. You said there are 36 employees, I say. Where are they now? He shakes his head. As far as I know, everyone else is gone. Gone where? He points to the screen that still informs us of the unexpected power failure and cringes. If this power failure was not corrected in time, there's no telling. But they're here in the facility somewhere, right? I ask, hoping someone will be able to help Dennis better than I can. I just don't know, Marcus says. They could be anywhere. I look, I say, furious with the way he was talking in riddles. He's actually being pretty clear. I don't. Oh, God, Dennis says. I look over to him and he looks as pale as a ghost. He stood up and his eyes were locked on the monitor closest to him. What? I ask. He simply points to the monitor and then looks away. I look to the monitor and see the logging site, but more specifically, I see the overturned dozer and the leg sticking out from under it, wearing the work boots, right where I left him. Tony. The fact of his death seems abstract almost, like it happened in some other world or a very long time ago. I know that you already told me he was gone, Dennis whispered, but it's different actually seeing him. My God. Suddenly, something blazes by the door outside, the open door outside. Shape is fast and in shadow, but I'm pretty sure it's a person. Someone else is here, Marcus says, wheeling around. He sounds very happy to discover this, so I try to follow his lead. If something bad happened at this facility, then surely the sight of another survivor is a good thing, right? We should check it out, he says. I realize this isn't the best moment to leave Dennis after revisiting Tony's death all over again. Someone just ran by the door, I tell him. Hopefully it's someone who can help us. You gonna be okay, or we'll be right back? Well, I don't want... Mochi. Don't tell me you're scared. Don't tell me you're scared, precious pooch. Huh? We're gonna take a break. We can all appreciate my dog appropriately in an adequate sense. You're so very cute, Princess. So cute. Say hi to the camera. Say hi. I love you. All right, but I need you to get comfortable. All right, down, be down. Good. Not bad. Stop. Okay. So, back to business. Well, I definitely want to at least ask him. It's fine, go see who it is, he says, giving me a mock thumbs up. I turn to Marcus and motion for us to head out to investigate. Let's be careful, Marcus says. Depending on who it is, they might not be as hesitant to shoot a stranger as I was. I nod at him as I head for the door. I'm still holding the rifle in my hand, and I don't know if I have the guts to actually use it if needed. Well, luckily for you, I do. With a final look back to Dennis, I run out into the second level hallway. Continue. Alright. Back in the hallway. Ooh. Sure like this music. Alright. Marcus follows. There is still fear in his eyes, but also a slight glimmer of hope. That hope is contagious. We take off after the figure that just ran past the command center. Ahead of us, the facility presents another long hallway. Right away I notice that this level of the facility seems darker even though the lights are now all on. The hallway is adorned with numbered yellow doorways and large white panels along the walls. It's clean and well maintained, but there's something ominous about it. Up ahead I see the fleeing motion of something dark cutting quickly to the left down a corridor. There, I say, quietly, pointing up ahead. Marcus gives a nod, and we continue chasing after the person we saw blaze by the command center just moments ago. It then occurs to me that this person could be like Marcus was at first, armed and scared. Shout at him or move towards him slowly. Well, I don't want to surprise him, just like with Marcus. Although that was actually an accident. I did kind of want to sneak up on Marcus. But later, I think I determined it's better to just let them know you're there. Alright. I don't expect this person to... Oh, hey, stop, who's there? I get no response, and I'm unsure if I should be relieved or upset about this. The last person we met nearly killed me with a rifle. Why would this person be any different? I quickly dart around the corner and take the same shooting stance I've seen countless times on TV. Oh, that's not encouraging. There's a woman standing there about 10 feet away. She has reddish blonde hair and a small, mousy build. Looks terrified and is visibly shaking. Probably in her late 30s, wearing a lab coat with dark jeans and green Converse low tops. I have a strange sense that her fear is not just about our sudden appearance. She looks like a woman who's been running scared for a while now. Her hands are raised in surrender. She's not holding a weapon. Marcus slowly approaches, taking a few steps ahead of me. It's Amy, right? He asks. She blinks, seemingly surprised that he knows her name. Yes, she says, and you're Marcus. She nods absently and then looks to my rifle. I'm not going to use it, or we want some answers. They really haven't given me enough to... Well, she's unarmed. And there's two of us and one of her. Now, how do I know that? She asks. You're trespassing on government property in the midst of a huge catastrophic event. And you have a rifle. How am I supposed to believe you? Oh, I have a rifle. Calm down. I have a friend back in the command center who needs medical attention, I say. And we're looking for the rest of our crew. Really sorry, but I don't know where they are. She said, okay, you know what? You need to stop. You're incorrigible. This has a time limit. I know you don't. Alright. Do you know what's happened? Marcus asks. From the power outage? I don't know what caused it, she said, but there was an experiment taking place when the outage occurred. Something happened, and she trails off here, giving me a look of distrust. I saw things on the security monitor, Marcus says. The experiment failed, didn't it? I don't know the specifics, Amy says. I barely escaped the third floor. I was going to go to the command center to see if the security footage showed anything, but then I saw you and the gun. Listening to their conversation, I'm feeling totally in the dark. What experiments or what has you so scared? I'm gonna get more direct. Amy looks to me, her eyes wide and terrified. Who are you, anyway? She asks. I quickly give her my story. A logger stranded in the woods following a peculiar explosion at the logging site. As I tell her, recognition blooms in her eyes. You're one of the loggers? Yes. She then looks to Marcus and says, I thought they were being watched. They were, Marcus says. This was a freak accident. There's no proof that they were responsible. I feel myself wanting to submit to all of the questions that are piling up in my head, but Dennis is waiting for me. Ask about medical help for Dennis, ask for more details. Well, Dennis is definitely more urgent. I decide that despite my curiosity, I need to get Dennis help as soon as humanly possible. Look, is there any medical help to be had here or not? I ask. Probably, Amy said, but you have to find Colonel Barksdale. He knows where all of those sorts of supplies are. And where is he? Where is everyone else? I ask. At this, Amy starts to weep. She falls to her knees as if someone had struck her from behind. Gone, she says. Some were killed, and some were just, I don't know, they disappeared right in front of me. Disappeared? Yes, she answers. They were gone. They were here 1 second and gone the next. Just, she snaps her fingers together for effect. My kind of lady. God. Something's here with us, Amy says. We were conducting an experiment and it all went horribly wrong. Something came through. Came through what? Marcus asks. I don't even know that much. An entity, but whatever it is, it's still here somewhere, Amy responds. How could you not know? Don't you have full security access? I ask. No, I have access to almost everything, but there are 2 levels of security beyond my clearance. So what do you suggest we do now? I ask. I'm not sure, she says, wiping her tears away, but if you want to find your crew, we need to find Barksdale. He's in charge. Where is he? I ask. Down on the 3rd level in the hangar. Then let's go, I say. It's not that easy, Amy says, again looking at the rifle in my hands. Why not? Like I said, something came through when the power went out. There's several of them, all roaming the 3rd level. What came through? Yeah, what? All I know is that the others referred to them as entities. Amy shudders as she recalls the horrors she has seen. I don't even know how to describe them. I didn't get a good look, she says. All I did was run for my life. Behind me, I just heard screams. I know it's not very scientific of me, but I didn't feel like sticking around to learn more. She's right, Marcus says, stopping my train of thought. The things I saw on the monitors, it was crazy. This is insane, I bark. I'm going to the 3rd level to find this Barksdale guy. Thanks for your help. Wait, Marcus said. I'm sticking with you. If we want to get out of here, we have to find Barksdale, right? Mochi, I swear. Please stop. Yes, Amy says, but Barksdale's on the 3rd floor and it's too dangerous to go back there. I figure I'll let them make their own decision. In the meantime, I start heading back to the command center to get Dennis. Before I get there, I hear their footfalls behind me, getting closer. I give Amy a questioning look, and she quickly looks away, clearly torn. Neither one of you know your way around here, she says. Looking for Barksdale on your own would be suicide. Like it or not, she has a point. Fine, I say, then let's get Dennis from the command center and head down together. Oh my god. I don't know what to do. I can't possibly say no. You're far too precious. My precious. Are you my precious? I wish you guys could see her face right now. Why don't you give them that look, huh? Why don't you look at that like that, huh? Yeah. You look so uncomfortable. Now you know how I feel. Now you know, huh? I'm taking a picture. I hate to do this to you, Mochi, but in order to proceed, I must. You have to go lay down. I know. That's so sad. No. Go lay down, Mochi. Go! Mochi, go lay down! Come on, you know what that command means. Go lay down! Go on! No, I'll behave, huh, baby? Go lay down! Go lay down, Mochi. I know you know what that means. Go on. Go lay down. I would tolerate it if you just wanted to sit in my lap, but... Oh, nice jump. Alright. Good dog. What a good girl. Don't worry. You'll get all the cuddles you need before I go to sleep. Alright, let's continue here. I'm shocked that Homeboy is still alive, to be honest. We enter the command center, and I'm happy to see that Dennis has regained some of his color. We're going to get you some help, I tell him, and then we're going to find our crew and get the hell out of here. I think we should just leave. More help would be great, he says. With the way you took an hour to get my shirt off earlier, I'm not letting you touch me again. Sorry. Wait, Amy says, maybe one of us should stay here with him. I'll be okay, Dennis says. He stands to his feet with a grunt. You don't know what's out there, Amy says. I saw them. I saw what they can do. This facility is not safe. Yeah, I feel like that's important to know. I'm not sure, she says, but they are down on the 3rd floor, so we'll need to be careful. Marcus looks a little hesitant, but he nods his agreement as the 4 of us exit the command center. Heading back out into the hallway, I look back to the monitors. Take a final look at the screen that shows my wreck logging site and feel a pang of sorrow. Then I look to the other monitors showing live feeds of the facility's security cameras. I try to tell myself that I'm not looking for any sign of Amy's creatures, but I can't. It's exactly what I'm doing, and there's no need to pretend otherwise. We head back through the hall and towards the elevator. The tension exists between us. The tension that exists between us is like a physical presence. Alright. It's a long chapter, I feel like. Or is it? Maybe not. Feels like I've been sitting here longer. Maybe I have. We step inside the elevator and those pristine doors close. Inside the elevator, Amy seems to become much more guarded and distant from us. I want to assure her that I mean her no harm, but I'm also not going to put the rifle down. Thank you. So you have pretty high clearance in this place, right? I ask her. That's right. So what kind of experiment are we talking about? What went wrong? When she starts to answer my question, I can tell that it's something of a relief for her to get some of it off of her chest. There's been a lot of work on a project taking place here over the last 3 years or so. The purpose is to find out if there is any real viable science behind point-to-point instantiation. Like teleporting, I ask? Oh my god, Marcus says. I had no idea. I knew there was some weird stuff here, but nothing this insane. It's really not all that insane, Amy says. We found our first major breakthrough about 9 months ago. We were able to transport a live rat from its cage on level 3 to a small lab in New Mexico. The trip took the rat 5 seconds. Are you kidding me? Dennis says. I can tell that he wants to sound as if he is mocking the idea, but he fails. He is scared. Not at all, Amy says. The problem was that when the rat arrived, its retinas were detached and its intestines were on the outside of its body. Oh, boy. Guessing that's owing to these critters. What does that have to do with this now? I can think of a few things that has to do with this now. Did you ever perfect it? Well, about 6 months ago, we successfully made that same experiment. The rat arrived in great health, and this time in just 3 seconds. Still, one of the things that we needed to tweak in order to make this process completely safe was to figure out how to keep the subject on a straight course. When the matter is being transported, not only are its atoms being unknit and then put back together on arrival, unknit, transported. Okay, which? I feel like I get both of these things, but unknit, sure. Yes, deconstructed and translated through space. It's the only way we know how to do it right now. But the issue, as I said, comes in keeping the deconstructed subject on a straight course to its destination. When the process occurs, we are deforming space-time. We are creating a shortcut through space, and that has risks. Why exactly? Dennis asks. Because there are many more dimensions in space than the 3 we exist on, she explains. There's some evidence that there are as many as 10. So when you send the rat to New Mexico, it's traveling through another dimension to get there, I asked? Basically, and because of that, we were trying to get a better understanding of what those other dimensions are capable of. Things that a great deal of the population would be scared of if they knew what we were doing, hence all the privacy. Then, today, the power went out as we were in the middle of an experiment. Something happened. What? I don't know. She's speaking with the authority of someone who knows what she's talking about. Let's see, is that why those creatures are here? What have you seen in these dimensions? And actually, I would rather know the answer to this question. Obviously, that's why those creatures are here. Other worlds, other Tegmark universes, where our laws of nature don't apply, she says, not bothering to explain what that means. I'm gonna have to Google that later. I'm not cleared for such things, but I do get the reports. What reports? Marcus asks. I'm given access to the results of the test. In other words, Marcus replies, clearly upset, you guys have been peeking into other dimensions and taking notes on what you see. I can't believe I've wasted my life for this, he murmurs to himself. He looks like he's starting to freak out. Amy is quiet. Her expression indicates that she's waiting to see how I react to all this. I think it's pretty fucking cool. I mean, I think it's fucked up that it wound up unleashing some creatures and shit that apparently like to murder us, but, generally speaking, I'm not against the research itself. I don't know, I'm sitting here with the wheels spinning, but I'm not really grasping anything new here. So let's just say it. That's incredible. You were impressed by Amy's work. I bet you that Marcus did not fucking like that. So this is like interdimensional stuff, I ask? In a way, Amy answers. Marcus, on the other hand, is incredulous. I don't want anything to do with this, he says. All this time I've been working for... He laughs cruelly, and the sound of it makes my blood go cold for a moment. Just a single level beneath my feet, you assholes have been tearing apart space and time, Marcus continues. When the elevator doors open, I can't get out fast enough. The tension is growing way too thick for my liking. Outside of the elevator, we step out into what appears to be a massive industrial area. The carnage waiting for us is unlike anything I'd seen in the upper levels. Grody. Man, I can't get past how good the scenery is in this game. For being, you know, a text adventure, basically. The area looks industrial, like everything was built for utility only. But more noticeable than that is all of the blood. My god, I have never seen so much blood. Those creatures must have had a field day. Holy shit, Marcus says, looking like a man that just awoke from a very bad dream. There were more personnel in this area when the experiment went haywire, Amy says, as if the explanation makes it all better. The research you all do down here had better be worth it, I say. We have to get moving or we're gonna lose our nerve. Amy, let's focus. Barksdale's in the hangar, I say. He's still alive, yes, that's where he'll be. Let's hurry, I say. As far as I can tell, Dennis is doing much better, but I am beginning to grow tired of trying to keep my fear at bay. Between the blood on the floor, the silence of level 3, and Amy's talk to the lab rats, I'm getting freaked out. I'm still gonna go first. No, she knows where we're going, and I've gotta go. Yeah, you take the lead. The four of us start walking ahead, Amy taking the lead. We stop walking when we come to the remains of what looks to be 3 different people. It's hard to tell how many bodies there were because they have been torn to shreds and are distorted. 2 of the bodies look as though they have been fused together. Another man looks to have had his leg welded through the floor. I can see this man's face. He died in an abject state of horror, his mouth pried open in an internal scream. I'm gonna keep moving. Don't look at that shit. You're just gonna scare yourself. It's simply too much. Worse than that is the fact that we have just started our journey through level 3. If there's worse waiting up ahead, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it. Dennis steps up beside me, and when he speaks, his voice is soft and flat. What in the hell could do that to someone, he asks. The things I saw, Amy answers. They could do it pretty easily, I think. She looks pale, and I think she may pass out at any moment. Tears spill from her eyes, and she is visibly shaking, but she soldiers on, looking back to me and stepping to the side of the gruesome carnage. Her eyes again go to my rifle, and she doesn't look very hopeful. You good to go? She asks me. I need to move on, but for some reason I can't take my eyes off the scene. My mind is reeling trying to process it all. Nope, let's go. Let's get out of here. We leave the grisly sight behind, moving into another equally destroyed area. From what I can tell, the next room was once an open area for experimentation. The place hasn't just been destroyed, it has been physically altered in a way that makes no sense. The girders look to have been warped, their very materials distorted and twisted. To my right, a machine has been catapulted and looks to have somehow merged with the wall rather than crashing into it. Beyond these phenomena, there is the standard violence I was expecting to see. There's a limp arm sticking out from underneath the wreckage and more blood. I see no signs of an explosion, which makes me wonder just how this happened. Seeing the aftermath is sickening enough, but it makes me wonder if Amy saw it while it was happening. I don't want to be too direct. I only caught a glimpse of it, she says. It was like trying to focus your eye on something that was too close. They just started twisting, but not creaking or breaking. It's like these creatures are able to deform matter. She pauses here, and that's when we hear something echo through the facility. It comes from behind us and slightly to the right. I'm not sure what it is, but it makes my blood feel like ice. It sounds almost like static from an AM radio, but there's a high-pitched noise beneath it that I can't even start to fathom. What the hell is that? I ask, instantly clapping my hands to my ears. One of them, Amy says, her voice in a whisper. One of the creatures. That's what they sound like? Dennis asks. I can see that he's leaning against the wall again, wincing at the noise. I suddenly realize that I have a depth grip on my rifle, ready to shoot at the next thing I see. I'd like to know. Not really, she says. None of the hallways are blocked off by secure doors. Everyone seems to take this as the cue to start moving again. Make our way around the office wreckage, now with new purpose in our step. Get the fuck away. We barely make it to the other side of the room, approaching a dark hallway when another high-pitched noise sounds out. This one is louder, closer. We all share a terrified look, and I can tell that Amy is on the verge of losing it. I grip the rifle tightly as we head towards the hallway in front of us. That's what I need to know, because rifles are great for killing people. They're not really great for, they're good for animals, maybe monsters like a werewolf or something like that, but I feel like something that can catapult a heavy piece of machinery and then merge it to a wall is probably not going to get taken in by bullets. But maybe you can kill them with something else. I don't know, Amy says. Dennis speaks up, his voice like ice. Then let's all ask, huh? I guess when you're dying, probably it doesn't feel as terrifying. No one says anything after that, but I can feel the presence of terror around us, pressing in on us like some new violent gravity. Weird. Boy, this chapter does feel really long. Is it just me? Not that I'm complaining, I love this game. This game is awesome. The small utility hallway is well lit. It looks as if it was designed to only be used by select maintenance workers. What goes on in this area, I ask. I'm looking at Marcus as I ask the question, but he only shrugs in response. She might know, he replies, pointing to Amy. I've never been down here before. It's just a utility hallway, Amy says, but at the end there's a maintenance room. There should be a gun or two in there. It's also the most direct path to the hangar entrance. As we walk quickly and quietly down the hall, I take a glimpse ahead and feel the hair on the back of my neck stand on end. The lights become more sparsely spaced, and it's impossible to see just how far the hall extends into the darkness. This hallway has the occasional trace of bloodshed, but nothing like the main area we've come from. We continue further down, and just as I begin to see what looks like a large metal door further ahead, I hear yet another shrill sound. This one sounds further away, but no less demonic. How many of these things did you see? Dennis asked Amy. 3, but that's just what I saw. There could be more. What did they look like? Dennis asks. Oh my god, how would that be helpful? No, yeah, let's find out what we're dealing with. I don't even know how to explain them, she says. Monsters, that's the only word I can think of. My mind seemed to struggle just to understand what I was seeing. They're big and they seem to jerk around every few feet or so. They look like they're made of light. That's about all I know for sure. You know, my ex-husband always said I'd let my work kill me, she continues, seemingly unable to stop herself. I mean, I doubt he imagined this exact scenario, but still. As we make our way to the hangar doors, another high-pitched noise rings out. Angrier now. Amy stops walking, causing all of us to stop and turn to her. We have to do something to slow these things down, she says. No, Marcus snaps. There's no time. We need to distance ourselves and get to the hangar fast. Amy ignores him, deep in thought. There's an old hydraulic door set into the wall right here, she says. It hasn't been used for years, though. She looks to me, pleading her case. Together we might be able to pull it close behind us to keep those things back. Those old hydraulic doors weigh a ton, Marcus says. There's no way it'll work. Roger, Amy says. What do you think? They'll have a harder time getting to us if these doors are locked. Look, Marcus shouts, turning to me. We need to get to the hangar, now. Oh, man. I feel like this sucks, but I just like Amy more, and I feel like I'm putting a big wedge between me and Marcus. Not like we had a great relationship to begin with, but I feel like making too many decisions her direction could make him more volatile towards us. Like, he's only barely tolerating our company to begin with. I've got him basically at gunpoint. I've had him at gunpoint since I beat his ass the first time. But, God, it's hard to say. What would be... And again, I don't really understand how these hydraulic doors are going to keep these creatures from getting to us. If they can warp matter, why can't they just warp a hole in it and come to us? Doesn't seem like that would make any difference. But then again, I don't know. I mean, I guess worst case scenario, I die. Let's just keep moving. Oh, decided to leave the doors open and run. No, I say to the group, with all the carnage back there, I doubt we can stop them. That's what I'm saying, Marcus agrees. Let's haul ass. Amy tries to speak up, but the rest of us are already running down the hallway. I speed towards the hangar doors, not even looking back to see how far Amy has fallen behind us. Panic and hope are fighting within me, and I can't stop myself from sprinting. The fact that yet another shrill noise sounds out elsewhere in the facility is not calming. They fucking know where we are. And then there are two of them. It's almost like they are calling out to one another. The doors to the hangar stood up ahead, like the entrance to some enormous labyrinth. Oh man, I don't like where this is going. I mean, if I felt like the doors would have bought us time, I would definitely have done that. But, I don't understand how that would be helpful. I guess maybe I should have listened to Amy, though. This is her experiment. Maybe she knew something. Can find out, I guess. Let's continue. Right? When we reach the hangar doors, I get a true sense of how impenetrable they are. The computer terminal is mounted on the wall nearby and has a blinking red light. Any idea what this means, I ask? It's an automatic lock, a failsafe from the lockdown, says Amy. I've never been down here before, Marcus says. If I had known this door was here, I would have opened it earlier. Alright, how? Amy asks. Oh. Yes? What? What about it? Oh, shit. Okay. I'm actually gonna have to cut this short. Thank you guys for watching. Okay. And I can't wait to open it again, but